Sonko abo pepepe ewo Adom TV so Adom FM Asempa FM Enhia FM ena ebusia yeguso a yede afim pinu ene aduonu abato echi ehun manson yeda omeya senibia ena yede emawo yese enema akomako aduanan mienu ya asem yetena so no ye jebere na ne esasa wotie no se oman yi bekoso a amamu no bekoso a ni nyina gina abato na yato ensunsanso ye befirimu aba yato wie amanyoko baako se yebo enwuso
940. I am putting it to you.
My Lord, can you come again?
I am putting it to you that when Ayenswanu results that I have just shown you that if you take the difference that you got from the first sheet from what they had written, you get 4189. And that 4189 on your own spreadsheet Exhibit E, it is spread across all the candidates. The only person who didn't get a gain was Hassan Ayarika. I'm saying that if you put it together, the gains that each candidate made in Ayenswanu, the total will now come to 1,236,940. And I'm putting that to you.
Yes, my Lord.
Good. Now, therefore, I am further putting it to you that the Eastern region sheet had no problem for which you ought to have written to the first respondent.
I deny that, my Lord.
Now, I am further putting it to you that the three remaining constituencies that your agents, the three remaining regions that your agents did not sign, the petitioner won those regions.
My Lord, if the figures are in contention, we are not able to determine who won.
Now, those regions are Western North, Northern, and Greater Accra. I'm putting it to you that the candidate won at those regions when the coalition was done. That's the petitioner.
My Lord, I repeat that if the figures are in contention, it is difficult to determine who won.
Now, are you therefore saying that with respect to Greater Accra, you do not know that the petitioner won the election?
My Lord, you claim my agents did not sign, which means that it's part of our case that the figures are in contention.
You see, I am putting it to you.
And in the presidential elections, regions are not won.
Yes, my Lord. Well, my Lord. Well, my Lord.
In the presidential elections, regions are not won. There is one presidential elections and one returning officer who declares the winner at the national level. No other declaration of the presidential elections take place anywhere else.
Right. Well, I am putting it to you that for the record, Western North was won by the petitioner, and the Western North form, although not signed by your representative, it was certified by Mr. Rojo Metonunu in the strong room.
My Lord, the agents in the strong room will mount the witness box and they will be able to testify whether they signed or did not sign.
Do you still stand by your petition in this court? The petition that you filed, do you still stand by all the averments in it?
Yes, my Lord.
Now, let's look at paragraph 12 of your petition. Sorry, the petition of the petitioner, sorry. Paragraph 12 of the petition of the petitioner. Kindly read paragraph 12 to the court. Paragraph 12.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Paragraph 12 of the amended petition. Sorry, my lords. Have you seen it?
Yes, my lord.
Kindly read it to the court.
If the total number of valid votes standing to the names of each of the presidential candidates is summed up, this will yield a total number of valid votes cast of 13,121, 13,121,101. A figure that is completely missing from the purported declaration. 111. A figure that is completely missing from the purported declaration by Mrs. Jean Adukwe-Mensah on 9th December 2020, and the purported ratification on 10th December 2020.
Now, I am putting it to you that the figure in the paragraph 12 of the petitioner's petition shows clearly that the number mentioned by the first respondent as the valid votes, total valid votes, was an error, which you have admitted in your petition.
Can I hear the question again, please?
I am putting it to you that as at the time you filed this petition, you knew that the figure 13,121,111 was the correct total valid votes that ought to have been announced on the 9th, as you have said in your petition. I'm putting it to you.
My lord, these are figures we computed from the first respondent's own data that was supplied. These are not our figures.
Well, you are bound by your petition, so let's go on. At the point that the declaration was going to be done, you have stated that your agents, Mr. Metununu and Dr. Pesa White, left the strong room. Is that correct?
That's correct, my lord.
I am putting it to you that they left the strong room because they realized that the petitioner had lost the election.
My lord, I can't attest or deny that one, and these are matters in the personal knowledge of the agents who will be mounting the witness box subsequently.
And they left the strong room because they didn't want to sign the Form 13.
I can't attest to that.
And I'm putting it to you that the total valid votes as at the 9th of December 2020 and captured on Form 13 is just the same as the total valid votes in the form in paragraph 12 of the petition.
My lord, we don't know which is the total valid votes as we stand here, because the first respondent has turned out several different figures. So our case is that Ghana does not know the results of the presidential elections as we sit here now, because the petitioner who has the constitutional duty to conduct the elections has not, the first respondent who has the constitutional duty to conduct the elections and report an exact figures has failed in that duty. So we are confronted with several figures, and it depends on what you want to believe.
Are you saying that you do not believe in the figure that you wrote in your petition?
My Lord, I stated that we picked these figures from the respondents' own calculations, not ours. We haven't supplied.
And I am putting it to you that if your representatives had not left the strong room, they would have seen that those figures, 13, 121, 111, was the total valid votes as captured on Form 13.
My Lord, I can't respond on behalf of the agents. I have indicated that one of them will be in the witness box to testify.
I am further putting it to you that 8 out of the 12 presidential candidates stayed back and signed on the Form 13.
My Lord, I have indicated that the processes within that National Collation Center are not within my personal knowledge, and so I cannot answer, I cannot admit or deny.
Now, at the time the petitioner filed this petition, he knew the results from the Techiman South constituency, not so?
My Lord, I'm not the petitioner.
Oh. Okay. Okay, we'll leave it. We'll address it.
Now, let me refer you to your form, your Exhibit E. Look under Bunu East. Bunu East.
Yeah.
Do you see the valid votes that the petitioner obtained?
As per the computation of the first respondent, yes. Because these are not our figures, they are figures from the first respondent.
Right. You also agree with me that the petitioner never obtained all the 128,000 registered voters' votes from the Techiman South constituency as you purport to show in your evidence. I'm putting it to you.
Well, there's nowhere in the evidence that you purport to say that the petitioner got all. Respectfully, there's nowhere in the evidence where the witness says that the petitioner got all the registered votes in Techiman. There's nowhere in the evidence to that effect. And I think this is just to kind of mislead the witness.
Amenuvo. Yes, my lords. My lords, I am not, with the greatest respect, misleading the witness. Lords, as at the date that the witness filed his witness statement on he signed his witness statement on the 27th of January 2021, he, in paragraph 12, sought to make analogies with the Techiman South total number of registered voters. And that is why I am asking him genuine questions based on his own documents that he has brought before the court.
My objection is very simple. He's made a specific statement that the petitioner, the petition says that all votes in Techiman South were won by the petitioner. There's no way. This talk about by analogy and so on. Let him point to where in the witness statement.
Mr. Amenuwo, please.
Yes.
Reframe the question.
Now, yes, my lord.
He's raised an objection. What is your response to that? You are reframing the question.
Lords, I'll rephrase the question.
Okay.
Right.
And then tell me that.
Now, as at the time you filed this petition, I am suggesting, as at the time you filed your witness statement, I am suggesting to you that you could not include paragraph 12 because the total valid votes that the petitioner had obtained were known. I'm putting it to you. In the Techiman South constituency, they were known.
As at the time
you were
filing the witness statement?
Yes.
Yes.
They were known?
Yes.
Good. I'm further putting it to you, therefore, that as at the time that the petitioner filed the petition, all the total valid votes in Techiman South were known.
On behalf of the petitioner.
So I am putting it to you.
Yes.
That using all the total valid votes in the Techiman South constituency, that's registered voters in the Techiman South constituency, to do your analysis is incorrect. I am putting that to you.
My lord, the analysis was based on what the first respondent herself claimed. So all the information there, all the figures that were stated there were from the first respondent's own account when they were declaring the results. And if I may proceed, the first respondent claimed that even though they have not had the results of Techiman South, they feel secure to proceed because even if all the votes of Techiman South were to be added to the petitioner's tally, it will not change the outcome.
Yes.
So the analysis we did there was to show that based on the figures she herself declared, that statement could not be correct.
I am putting it to you that the first respondent's chairperson was right, because as at the time she was making the declaration, you knew that the total valid votes in the elections was 13,121,111. I'm putting it to you.
My lord, I don't understand the question. That I knew, or the chairperson who was doing the declaration knew? Because I didn't do declarations.
You, as the witness in this box, you knew about that. I'm putting it to you.
That when the first respondent was making the declaration on the 9th, that I knew that the total figures, total of the votes was 13,121,000 111.
Yes, because you stated so, the petitioner stated so in his petition, that ought to be the correct number, and the first respondent in her answer agreed with you. So I'm putting it to you that you knew.
My Lord, you see,
answer the question.
I don't understand why you seem to be confusing me with the petitioner. because I don't understand.
You see, that's why we have to strike out some of the evidence, because you can't speak to them. And so that's the basis upon which we have to strike out some of the evidence. And we are confirming our position.
Oh.
Well, I'm still waiting for the answer.
I'm saying that I cannot answer for the petitioner. You're asking me questions that ought to be asked to the petitioner, right. And I'm saying that I'm not.
So, I'm going to that.
I took these figures from the respondent's declaration.
Now,
and before they were declared, I couldn't have known what he was declaring.
The figure at the time.
Now, can you read paragraph 13 of your witness statement to this court?
My Lord, paragraph 13 of my witness statement. When the percentages of valid votes cast and standing to the names of each of the presidential candidates. Oh, my witness statement, okay. Witness statement. Have you taken? Yeah, you've taken the witness statement. It's over there. Let me show you. Bring both. It's here. Yeah. Paragraph 13. Yeah, paragraph 13. The Techima and South constituency has a total registered voter population of 128,018. And if added to the total valid votes announced by Mrs. Jane Adukwe-Mensah as cast, which is 13,434,574, the resultant figure would now be 13,562,592. Consequently, if all the votes of Techima South constituency were added to petitioner's votes, second respondent's vote will remain the same at 6,730,413, now yielding 49.625%, while the votes of petitioner will increase to 6,342,907, now yielding 46.768%.
So I'm putting it to you that you knew the results from the Techima South, and therefore this analysis of yours is incorrect.
My Lord, I beg your permission to quote paragraph 12 of my statement. That will explain the meaning.
Please
of
answer the question and then you can explain.
Okay.
answer the question. I'm saying that at the time you were making this statement,
Yeah.
you knew the exact results of the Techiman South constituency, and therefore the analysis that you had made was wrongful. Answer the question, yes or no. If you want to explain, you explain.
The analysis was right because it was based on a statement made by the first respondent at a certain point in time. So if you are analyzing that statement at that point, I don't see how you bring in the current situation to be able to answer that statement.
I suggest to you that you are wrong because the current situation is the reality. The court deals with reality, not conjecture. I'm suggesting that to you.
My Lord, the current situation cannot be the reality because nobody knows the results of the presidential elections in 2020. Nobody knows in exactitude how many votes each of the candidates got and what percentage each of the candidates got. And the first petitioner, the first respondent, in her own words, and my Lord, I beg to quote in my own statement, currently, the election results we have declared exclude that of Techiman South constituency, with a voter population of 128,018. The third election results are not ready because they are being contested. Even if we were to add the 128,018 full results to the results of the second candidate, it would not change the outcome of the election. Hence our declaration of the 2020 presidential results without that of Techiman. The respondent was justifying why she had to declare results based on uncompleted tally. And we are questioning that statement, that statement could not have been correct as at the time it was being made.
I am putting it to you that as at the time the first respondent's chairperson made that statement, the statement was correct and it is captured in paragraph 12 of the petitioner's petition.
I decline that.
Very well. Now, what was the source from which you obtained information to draw up your Exhibit E for this honorable court?
My Lord, Exhibit E was based on the first respondent's own data.
But you have gracefully brought it to the attention of the court. You want to rely on it. Is that not so?
Yes, we want to rely on it to the extent that we want to prove a case against the first respondent.
No.
And I'm comfortable, my teacher, my Lord.
Now, my lords, in Exhibit E, there are votes assigned to the petitioner and the second respondent and all the other presidential candidates. Is that not so? That's on the last page of Exhibit
By the first
E.
respondent, yes.
Now, what we have here is 677 6066 for the second respondent. Is that correct?
From where, please?
That's the total.
Yeah, the
total valid votes.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
6,776,066.
That's what is on it. Is that correct?
I don't know. Yes, it's in this statement.
Yes.
Yes.
And then also for the petitioner, we have 6,265,276. Is that correct?
According to this document submitted by the first respondent.
Now, it is your document we are looking at, please. Now, look below the figures we have just gone through. For the second respondent, there's a percentage of 5.126. It is down there. That's 51.126. Sorry, 51.261. The way they have rendered it, that's why. 51.
0.51.
Yes.
63.
0.51261471. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Now, I am suggesting to you that this works to a percentage of 51.2614.
A percentage of what?
A percentage of the total valid votes also on this sheet.
It's 51.263%.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Right. Now, for the petitioner, we have 47.397 assigned to him by your sheet. Is that correct?
47.397. Yes.
The number assigned to the second respondent, no, deduct the number assigned from assigned to the petitioner from that assigned to the second respondent and tell this court the difference.
Which of the numbers? You asked about percentage. You are now asking.
6, 7, yes, I've moved on from percentage. 6776066 minus 6265,276. What do you get?
677.
As it's not that good, I think you'll be stretching the witness.
About 510,790.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's okay.
Yes. It is, you got 510,790.
Yes, my lord.
Right. Now, it is not true that the first respondent padded any votes as you allege. I am putting it to you.
My lord, I decline that assertion.
Now, in your Exhibit F, you allege that 4693 votes was added in favor of the second respondent. That is your allegation.
My Lord, if you look at my statement, I indicated that I'll bring a sample of the constituencies and polling stations where padding took place. I did not indicate that that is an exhaustive list of all the places where the padding took place.
Sir,
we
are using the numbers that you have brought to the court to assist the court. I am saying that the total of 4693 is what you have put down there. Is that correct?
I brought it as a sample. I did it in my statement, actually indicates that this is from a sample of this particular constituency. I don't understand sample to mean a total of the population.
Now, deduct the 510,790, you deduct the deduct the 4693 from 510,790. What do you get?
With all due respect, I don't see the point of the
with the greatest respect, you are being rude to the court, not to me.
Okay. Yeah, come again.
I'm saying that deduct 4693 from 510,790. What do you get?
693. I got 506097.
Good. I am suggesting to you that even if this your number as alleged, which is denied, even if it is deducted from the total valid votes of the second respondent, he still has won by your own sheet by 51.246%. I am putting it to you.
My Lord, I deny that because that you are subtracting apples from mangoes.
To 1 point.
But this is a sample. You want to take a sample from a population of another group. I don't see where the calculation is coming from.
You see, I am suggesting to you that you have no evidence to support your allegation, and that is why you have brought only what you have. I am putting it to you.
My Lord, we are not in court to try to declare another presidential results by us. We are in court to challenge the performance of a constitutional duty of a first respondent and to see whether that duty has been discharged faithfully.
If that is so, then I'm suggesting to you that you are not, by your own showing, you are not in the right forum.
I decline that, my Lord.
Now, you had earlier told this court that you cannot speak to what happened in the strong room when your two representatives were there.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
My lords, on that basis, I'll end my cross-examination of the witness.
Yes, my lord, I do. So, Mr. Aseidu Nketia, you recall that before the declaration of 9th January 2021, 9th December 2021, oh, relax. 9th December 2020, your party and your presidential candidate held a series of press conferences on what you consider to be the outcome of the elections. Is that not so?
It is so, my lord.
And in those press conferences, you announced to the whole world that the petitioner had won the presidential elections and was, by the votes you had collated, the president-elect. Am I correct?
My lord, that is not in my witness statement.
No. Where is it? Yes, the paper. So can you answer that question? You did say so, didn't you?
Come again.
I said your party, including your good self, and the first petitioner, and also one Otokuno, your deputy, together with other leading members of your party, you held several press. So I'm putting it to you that your party held a number of press conferences.
Yes, my lord, that is so.
Now, in those press conferences, or in some of them, you were present and you spoke on the issue of the results of the presidential elections.
Yes, my lord.
The petitioner himself also spoke on the outcome of the presidential elections.
Yes, my lord.
And your as deputy, Tokuno, equally spoke on the results of the presidential elections.
My lord, I can attest to my statement at a forum where the petitioner was present and he spoke. But I don't remember being present at a forum where my deputy spoke.
Now, you know that your presidential candidate, that is the petitioner, asserted that he had won the 2020 presidential elections.
My lord,
Ghanaians had voted for change.
My lord, what I remember the petitioner said was that the results as declared by the first respondent is not accurate.
Now, I'm also putting it to you that you yourself declared that the petitioner had won the presidential elections.
My lord, unless I'm reminded, but I remember saying that NDC has won parliamentary majority in parliament, and that will give President Mahama a comfortable situation to be able to run the next government.
So I'm suggesting to you that by that statement, you were saying that the petitioner had won the elections and was going to become the president.
My Lord, there were all indications that he was going to become the president.
Not indications. I'm saying that by what you said, you meant that he had won the elections because that was the only way he could form the next government.
My Lord, if I meant that, I would have said so.
See, Mr. Aseidu Nketia, we served on the petitioner our witness statement.
Yeah.
You are aware?
My Lord, I'm not the petitioner.
I didn't say you are the petitioner. I said we served on the petitioner our witness statement.
Yes, I'm aware he has been served.
Have you seen a copy of the witness statement?
Yes, I've seen it.
Do you admit that in the witness statement of the petitioner, of the second respondent,
Yeah.
we have attached Exhibit 6?
Exhibit
6. 6.
This one.
Yeah. It's hours. We are looking for hours. Yes, can you answer?
Yes, I've seen this in a brown envelope.
Yeah. So we presume that you know the contents. So we presume that you are speaking, you know the contents of that video clip.
Well, my Lord, I have not played the contents, so I cannot testify that I know what is contained in there.
My Lord, I would need some direction here. This is a problem that arises at trial in the High Court. Our witness is not at that moment giving testimony. The witness on the other side is giving testimony, and you want to confront him with material or exhibits in your witness statement. In our witness statement, to discredit him. What he's saying. Now, at the time that he would have finished his evidence and stepped out, when we lead that evidence, he will not be available to respond to the content of that evidence. We want to play the video so that you will exactly. Yes, my Lord. Very well. Yes.
Mr. Kutuampa.
Yes, my Lord.
You are conducting your case. So if at a point you think that there is evidence which you want to make an application to the court to allow you to either show to the court, you have to put that application before the court. But as it is, you've not made any application. We have to give the other side the opportunity to respond. What you're asking is you want directions from us.
Yes.
So you know what to do.
My Lord, may I, with your leave, make an oral application to have the video that we've attached to our witness statement played out so that we can properly confront the witness with his own acts and that of the petitioner, together with leading members of his party, on the issue whether or not they declared to the Ghanaian public that petitioner had won the election.
You have to address us on relevance. So what is the relevance? What would this video
My Lord,
establish?
the relevance is that the petitioner and his supporters or his leadership led Ghanaians to believe that they have won the election and that there was an attempt by the first respondent, together with, in collusion with the second respondent, were trying the will of the people, and that they had all the necessary pink sheets to demonstrate that they had won the elections. When they came to court finally, after a lot of pressure from the public that if you won, come to court, all they are saying is that if you use the errors in the chairperson of the first respondent's announcement, then neither party has won, so there should be a rerun. It goes to their good faith and credibility in this matter.
Mr. Kutuampa, anybody at all can call a press conference and declare himself or herself to be the winner of an election. And you mean because I called a press conference and declared that I have won an election, that should be taken as the law?
No.
We have laws, we have regulations,
no.
And how we know how to declare our results.
My lords, where a major party in the republic, like the NDC, is mobilizing its...
Mr. Kutampa, you see, the witness is denying these allegations. Yes, that is why you have your witness statement together with this, would I say, proposed exhibit or whatever, served on him. If it is your time, or if your time comes, then you have to put in.
No, yes, my lords, what I'm seeking to, I'm actually applying to the court for leave to play the video and use it because it's part of our case, and use it to cross-examine the witness And my Lord, I'm saying that this is a difficulty.
You are talking about credibility. You want to establish credibility.
Yes.
Yes, so you haven't said so.
No, my Lord, I said it goes to his credibility. I said so.
You have to premise your application in the rules, and you have to premise your application in the rules of court and in the Evidence Act. That's your job. That's your burden.
My Lord, I mean, our application is relevant to this petition to the extent that it demonstrates the credibility of the petitioner in respect the credibility or lack thereof of the petitioner in respect of the 2020 presidential elections. And yes.
So what is your submission? What is your submission? What is the application that you want us to?
My application is for leave for the video.
Confront him with the exhibit.
Yes.
Okay.
Because he's been very evasive, almost to the point of denial.
The challenge we have is that you did not give any indication prior to this hearing that you want a video to be played.
My lords, it's attached to our witness statement that I believe all your lordships have copies of, and I have every reason to presume that you know that we'd like to play it.
I'm not sure whether the registry, Mr. Registrar, I'm not sure whether there is any provision made for that. Do you have? Yeah.
I will take an adjournment.
My Lord, I respectfully, I believe that we have not been heard. There have been several steps of questions and so on. We have not been heard even in respect of his basic attempt. Okay.
Submission, the application. He said he was making an oral application.
Right.
Yes.
Yes, that's why I was saying that my understanding was that the question from His Lordship Justice Nketia was about the practicality of implementing that.
Yeah, it has not been granted. So we have to hear you before we can rule on it.
Very well.
Yeah, okay.
My Lord, in the first instance, it is the case of the petitioner that is being made by this witness. And therefore, evidence that he says is part of their case, that evidence has not yet come in. And your lordship will see that, in fact, literally, whilst in the box, he opened that envelope. I mean, it was clipped. I think we all saw that. It was clipped, and he answered that, I mean, he has not seen that tape. So, my lords, in terms of the answers that he's given when the matters have been put to him, he has answered those matters. Now, the question now is now being proposed that even before they bring in their witness statement with this flash drive, it should be put to him. That witness statement is not yet in evidence. It's not been adopted in evidence. So my Lord, with respect, the procedures are simply being confused.
From this witness statement, which is, would I say, an invention into our rules. Well, you see, in some years back, before the coming into force of the, is it CI 87? 87. CI 87. Yes, you can just ask a witness under cross-examination that, please look at this exhibit. Did you append your signature